To some, this question may seem extremely generic and maybe a little bit philosophical, but it's neither, as we will find out in the rest of the discussion. But before that, tell me, how many of you like jokes? I guess a lot of us. The only exception to liking these jokes is when the jokes are on you, or when you become the subject of those jokes. And then, so I'll tell you about two such incidents from my life where I got challenged a lot. And especially, see, we are talking about jokes, but when these jokes are about your capabilities, when these jokes are on you, you somehow get motivated in a different way to push those limits, to push and to try to prove those people wrong who made those jokes in the first place. And sometimes what may also happen is while pushing your limits, you push them to such an extent that the limits start breaking. And you may end up in a completely different space altogether. And this story is about that. So this story is about breaking the matrix or breaking whatever the limits which you feel. And sometimes other people could be a motivating factor in this in the form of different jokes. But this is the beauty of the things, because as we heard in the previous discussions, everything happens for a reason. Even the people who talk to you in a certain way, that also happens for a reason. So story number one. When I was in college, a very simple girl, I had just one dream. And the dream was to be rich. Yeah, such a simple dream, you see. What happens? I tried to clear IIT, but could not do it at that point. So I was in a Delhi University college, and one day two people were just having a discussion, and they were discussing something about investment banking. They were discussing about Lehman Brothers in particular, which was a very well-known investment bank at that time. And they were discussing how people get paid a lot in investment banking. I obviously had no clue at that point what even an investment banking meant. But because they were discussing and it was matching my dream, so I thought like, okay, let us see, how do you get into Lehman Brothers? They said for that you only need to be in IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore or Calcutta, because that's where Lehman Brothers goes. I said, okay, fine, we'll go to IIM, no problem. And what do you have to do? What do you have to do for that? They said you have to clear a common entrance test, which is quite difficult, but okay, that's what the requirement is. And I was like, yeah, fine, we'll do that, no problem, because my goal was extremely clear at that point. Now, it is during this time, one of my friends who had also not cleared IIT with me, so she was like, but Priyanka, this is not for us. I was like, what does that even mean? I am doing it, and because my desire was that strong at that point. In the evening itself, I go to an coaching institute which is training for CAT, and I start working. And I did work very, very hard, because, as they say, if you desire something and you're really working hard at that time, things start to happen. And luckily for me, I did made it to IIM Calcutta. After that, you will be surprised, as we were speaking about law of attraction, when I get my final placement, that was Lehman Brothers indeed. Of course, I was living my dream. This is something I desired from the very beginning, and I made it to Lehman Brothers. What happened? I joined them in 2006. 2008, they go bankrupt. It has got nothing to do with me. They just went bankrupt. But then you suddenly think that something that you worked so hard for can just go in a moment. But okay, fine. You start living more dreams and you start living your life again. Now, this time I got married to the love of my life. Then I had a baby. And all of us, like who have seen pregnant women and what happens after, know that, of course, once you have a baby, your body does not look the same. And it is during this time that I went to my office, and again one of those incidents You are trying to see whether this dress looks good on you. You ask someone like, is this color good? And somebody again makes a joke, कि अभी तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Priyanka, you have passed your prime now. It's no more relevant. I was like, okay, you feel bad, but somewhere you do realize it's not the same anymore. So okay, fine. And in the very near future, again, you're getting ready at home, and again, some relative makes a comment, "Abhi kya? Abhi to ho gaya." So, there is this faint desire that you don't want to give up so easily. You're only 30 at that point, and you don't want, people do expect to live till 70, 80, whatever, and it's not even your half life done. And abhi se ho gaya. What does that even mean? So you start working on yourself. And it is during this time itself that I get this, I see this application for Mrs. India. Of course, even though you were in no shape to apply it, but still that faint desire was still there. And this was the same thing what happened when I first heard about IIMs, when I heard about Mrs. India, that if your desire is strong enough, maybe give it a try. Give it a try with all your heart. Let's see what happens. Prepare well. Of course, I was a little nervous that I could be making a fool of myself on the stage, having no background whatsoever in fashion or modeling, and being a nerd all my life. So this is something, but the child in me wanted to explore. And what happens after that was history. Mrs. India, and after that, Mrs. Earth as well, and becoming the first Indian woman to win the title of Mrs. Earth. This was something of complete, this is a dream come true. It was as if at this time my life was singing a melody and I was dancing to it. I was working with a number of brands. I was working and traveling to different cities in India, trying to give women a hope that it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what your current status is, but you can do whatever you want to. But sometime during this time, I think to myself, okay, these two incidents, of course, they are quite good, but what am I doing? And coming back to the question, who are you? Do I look like a Big Boss contestant? My name is Priyanka, and I'm an expert at looking and proving people wrong. But this doesn't sound like your life goal, right? If there are 500 people sitting here, and all of you challenge me to do something, I might be able to do 20, 30, 40 of those challenges, but I will not be able to do it for another 400, 450 people who are left. So, if I am basing my entire life on what other people want me to do, that doesn't look like a definition of who are you. So, coming back, show up and be you. So, then I am thinking to myself, what is it that I want to do in my life? Having fulfilled your initial dreams, but now the dreams become bigger because there is no end to these dreams, right? Whatever you achieve, you want another one. After some time, you want another one. So you speak to yourself that, and especially when I was thinking about this topic for this discussion, who are you? Are you Priyanka? But that's just your name, and many people call you by different names. Are you a model? Okay, that can change anytime, and you are an investment banker as well. So again, it's something not truly defining you. Are you a mother? Are you a wife? You are, but they are your roles, and then they change all the time. So at various points in life, you are showing up and being a mother, being a wife, being a banker, being a model. But the idea is again to find out what you truly are and how do you truly get there. So I thought about it, and after a lot of thinking in my head, you come up with two set of attributes, one that are changeables and one that are not changeables. If the thing changes at a very tiny instant, that can't be you. That is a temporarily part of your life. But something which you say, and on this stage you are asking me to show up and be me, that has to be more permanent than that. And that has to be true at various stages of your life. So when I think about it, so I came up with three things which were true when I was 5 years old, which were true when I was 15 years old, and which were also true when I was 25 years old. After that, I stopped aging, so yeah, we stick to that. So these are the things which I believe have been unchangeables in my life. And that's why I feel that today on this stage, when you ask me, who are you? These are the things that I want to talk about. And so don't worry, it's not an alien. I'll tell you something which you all can relate to. So the first part, I feel nature has been a very, very integral part of my life. So whether I was a child or now, whenever you are looking at the morning sun, whenever you are looking at the sunset, when you are near water, trees, all those things attract us towards them. And this is a little bit constant in life. So I definitely feel that one part of me has got something to do with nature. It is part of nature, and that's why this feeling of beauty and this feeling of bliss that you get when you are in nature, that's why you get there. So one part is surely nature. Another thing which I feel has always been extremely beautiful is love. Whether I was a child, your object of love may have changed. So whether it was like, your mom, dad, your friends, your boyfriend, your children, so the object keeps changing, but that beauty which you feel in love, that has remained constant. And that magic which loves bring in you, that is again something which is very, very constant. And hence I feel that a part of me has got something to do with love as well. And the last part is, all of you must be able to relate that whenever you have done something with a lot of purpose, when you have done something where the work itself is the reward, and you are not doing it for a particular aim, and you're just doing something for the love of doing, at those moments, so whether it is your hobby, whether it is your passion, whether it is something that you want to build, whenever you are doing those things, even at those moments, you feel a little constant in life that this is it. And hence, I feel I have a lot to do with purpose as well. Because these are the things I feel that have remained constant despite the age, despite whatever ups and downs I have been through, despite the changes. These are the unchangeables. And this is what I want to say, that on this platform, when we say show up and be you, be that rebellion, be that love, be that fire, be that motivation, be anything that you want to be, which your heart approves of. And that's it. And on that note, I hope all of you can find that inner you in. Thank you.